Hey there, everyone. I am Ashley Bullington, and this is the Campfire. Today, we are taking a look at District 4-6A, where South Lake Carroll hasn't lost a district game in over 4 years. After realignment, this district consists of Haltom, Keller, Keller Central, Fossil Ridge, Timber Creek, Eaton, Byron Nelson, and South Lake Carroll. This district is pretty similar to the way it has been the last 2 years, except they add the Haltom Buffaloes. Let's start things off by analyzing these teams in our film session. The district favorite will be Riley Dodge's South Lake Carroll Dragons. They bring back unanimous District Player of the Year Owen Allen in the backfield and Caden Anderson behind center. They also have 2 reigning newcomers of the year as well, with Jacob Jordan on offense and Arab Sherp on defense. Look for the Dragons to snag another district title. However, Byron Nelson and Eaton should not be counted out. The Bobcats have some dynamic receivers returning in Landon Ransom and Gavin McCurley. Add to that co-district offensive MVP quarterback Jake Wilson, who almost threw for 4,000 yards last year, and Byron Nelson should light up the scoreboard. As for the Eagles of Eaton, they finished second last year, but took a hit offensively. They bring back Stanford commit Jaden Platt at tight end and on defense. The line should be solid with first-team all-district returnees Caden Cochran and Chance Owens coming back. As for the Keller ISD schools, the Indians of Keller have one of the best receivers in the district back, and Amarian Henry. Fossil Ridge brings back co-offensive MVP Landon Chambers and his 1,700 yards rushing as they try to grab a playoff spot. Timber Creek only grabbed 2 wins last year, but receiver Lonnie Johnson should help as they try for a playoff spot. Keller Central went winless in district play last year, but perhaps Joseph Matumbo on the defensive line could help them scratch out a win. Haltom is new to the district this year, but senior quarterback Angel Marino will try to lead them to the postseason. Looks like there could be a lot of good receivers in this district. All right, let's dig even deeper into 4-6A as we bring in our Inside High School Sports Insider, Matt Diggs, along with producer Ward Sold for our district breakdown.
All right, it's district breakdown time. We were talking 4-6A. My main guy, Diggs, he's here with us. Diggs, they took Haltom in to this district, and they're ready to roll with it. What do you feel about who could come out on top? I have a feeling who you might say, but talk about the rest of the district as well.
Why do you think I'm just going to pick Carroll just because they're Carroll? I mean, I'm a diverse sports writer. I like to get everybody involved, and I could talk about Byron Nelson. I think they're one of the teams to watch, especially in the area. We were talking off air, and I loved what you said. You said they got receivers for days, and when you look at the all-district teams last week, you look at the recruiting thing, you look at the 7-on-7, you are onto something, my friend. I mean, Jake Wilson, he's going to get all the accolades because he's throwing the bombs. But their receivers, they're 4-5 deep. You got Ashton Williams, Landon Ransom, I saw him last year against McKinney Boyd, and he was incredible. Just he could do a little bit of everything, receiver, slot back, whatever you need with him. Pierce Dolan, Ezra Malamura, Gavin McCurley. I mean, 5 decent places, 5 places you can put him at tight end. You can go 4 wide. I mean, Byron Nelson is really, and they have a good offensive line on top of that. They graduated a couple of key cogs on that offensive line, but they're a really good team. Now, I'm not going to pick them first. We will go with those little green dragons over there in Tarrant County as our first place team. But, we got to talk about Byron Nelson. Coach Pride has done a great job over in the whole Northwest ISD athletic department has really done a good job over there building up that ISD program. And I think when you look at them compared to Keller ISD, which is our other part of this, I think they're playing consistently better football than Keller ISD almost across the board instead of some of those sports like baseball and softball where the Keller ISD schools tend to do well. But in the strength dominated sports, Northwest ISD has done pretty well for themselves over the last few years.
I appreciate it, Diggs. Hey, I'll talk to you next week. We'll go up 5-6A.
Next week, 5-6A, the best district in DFW. We will talk it next week.
Maybe even the state. Talk to you next week.
Diggsy and Wiz will also have even more about this district on our social media platforms this Wednesday. Let's take a look now at some of the athletes you should keep an eye on in this district and our players on the rise. Eaton tight end Jaden Platt is the main cog in the Eaton offensive machine. Platt caught 31 passes for 623 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Eagles last year. Platt played quarterback on JV as a sophomore, but bulked up to 6'4" and 235 pounds, which made it easy for him to transition to tight end. Platt verbally committed to Stanford in December. The unanimous district MVP last year was Southlake Carroll running back Owen Allen. How about these numbers? Over 2,000 yards rushing and 28 touchdowns, as Allen was the workhorse for the Dragon offense last season. For his high school career, Owen has 3,300 yards rushing and 51 touchdowns, as he should be the favorite to win MVP again this year. He has offers from Army and Air Force. Throw it up there, and Byron Nelson's Landon Ransom will go get it. The Bobcat receiver pulled down 77 catches for 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns as a junior. Ransom is also a two-way player and made 3 picks as a defensive back. He was named the Utility Player of the Year in this district. Ransom has offers from Army, Navy, and Rice, among others. Timber Creek always seems to have a big-time receiver, and this year is no different with Lonnie Johnson. The senior caught 62 passes for 854 yards and 11 touchdowns last year for the Falcons. The speedster is tricky in the return game as well, as he can take a short kick to the house. Johnson has offers from SMU, TCU, and Oklahoma State, amongst others. Last season, Byron Nelson went 3 rounds deep in the postseason and gave eventual state runner-ups Denton Geyer a run for their money. A Word for Soul caught up with their head coach, Travis Pride, to talk about the district and see if the Bobcats could make another long playoff run in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 4-6A. I'm joined by Byron Nelson, head coach Travis Pride. Coach, you got to be pleased with the way that season ended last year. I mean, you went right into the district play and took 2 losses right off the bat, and you could have hung your heads, but you pulled off 6 in a row, and then you took Geyer down to the wire, who went on to the state title game. So talk about how you felt your season ended last year.
Well, that's kind of I talked to the coaches and the kids. We want to win, you want to win them all. So I don't ever want to, kind of drop our expectations or lower our expectations. But sometimes at the end of the day, there's only a couple teams that do win them all. So I didn't want to ignore the fact of how proud I was of the kids and the coaches and the effort they gave and the resilience and the, just competitive nature. So all in all, I was super proud of the kids, super proud of the team. We had great leadership, proud of the coaches.
You guys should be able to put up some really high numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we're excited. We have, like you said, we have 2 of our starting receivers back. The third that will be a starter also had some significant playing time in the playoffs. Jake's back. The running back split time with our starter last year, but he had. I think he had 600 yards rushing or something like that also. So Darden, he's going to be a great little player. And we got a couple returning offensive linemen, and then some of the younger ones we think are going to be really good. So we're excited. We can, we feel like we can, we feel like we can put some pressure on some defenses because we can throw well, we can run well, and we can utilize the whole field. So that's when you kind of have a chance to make things happen.
Well, I can't wait to see you guys out on the field, and I appreciate you joining with us today, Coach Pride.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. You guys have a great day.
We will post the entire interview on all of our social media platforms this Friday. Also, if you cannot wait until the district breakdown or the full version of Media Day are released, you can go over to our podcast on Inside High School Sports DFW on iTunes and Spotify and listen to the extended version of the Campfire. That's going to do it for this week's show. Join us next week as we talk 5-6A, where some big time coaching changes happened during the off season. You can keep up with everything on the high school football scene on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. Until next time, I'm Ashley Bullington, and thank you for watching the Campfire.